1811 4000। यही कंज्यूमर हेल्पलाइन।
जागो ग्राहक जागो।
This is the UTV network. And you are with UTVI.
Hello and welcome to Call UTVI, the only show in the country which puts you, the consumer, ahead of others. Today we are taking all your queries on credit card related problems. All you need to do is pick up your phone and call us now. The lines are open. The number is 02240987300. We also have an SMS number which is 59995, or you can email us at oncall@utvi.com. Here on the show, joining me today to answer all your queries are Mr. Prof.S.R.Khanna. He is the managing editor of Consumer Voice magazine. Also in our Mumbai studios is Mr. Harsh Rungta, CEO apnapaisa.com. Mr. Rungta, Mr. Khanna, welcome on the show. And time for our first caller. We have Vishnu calling us from Ajmer. Vishnu, if you could hear me, please go ahead with your query, sir.
Is Vishnu there?
I think we don't have Mr. Vishnu here. We have Vayesh Kantawala, who is online with us from Mumbai. Mr. Kantawala, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query, sir. It seems the lines are getting a bit jammed because the issue is so broad. Professor Khanna, we were discussing this issue with you earlier as well. Tell us some of the tips that the consumers need to keep in mind while using a credit card and to avoid penalties.
You see, if a credit card can be a very good friend, okay? When you ask, you have friends, you ask, you don't have money, you want to borrow money for 25 days, 30 days, you ask your friend, give me the money, when I get my salary, I'll return it to you. So there comes the day, salary day, you've got your salary in your pocket, you borrowed money, return it back. And that friend will lend you again and again and not complain, because he knows his money is going to come back. So a credit card is a friend like that.
Professor Khanna, let's just go across and take our viewers' queries first. It seems Vayesh Kantawala is online with us from Mumbai. Vayesh, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, Vayesh, please go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah. Actually, I had applied for a credit card in the month of February, and from SBI Bank, and they have refused it, saying that I don't have any other bank credit card. So is it the valid reason giving so they could reject my application?
Mr. Harsh Rungta, if you heard this question correctly, why don't you take this question? Is it a valid reason?
I don't think the bank, as per RBI regulations, when a bank rejects a credit card application, it has to now send a rejection letter with reasons mentioned therein. If the bank's credit criteria require that you need to have an existing credit card account, and only based on that they will give you a credit card, then perhaps there is nothing wrong with that. But what I think has happened in your case is that they have various profile-based credit requirements. Perhaps for the amount of income or the kind of income that you had, their profile requires an existing credit account which is in good order. And perhaps that's the reason they have rejected it. I would, if one bank is not giving it to you, I think there are several other banks that will be in a position to give you if your income papers are good. Currently, of course, the market is a little bit risk averse, and therefore getting credit cards where income papers are not good is a little bit of a problem. But still, there are plenty of credit card players in the market, and you should try. The reason itself being invalid, I don't think is a correct reason. If their credit norms are like that, it perhaps is a right reason.
I think Mr. Vaish's question has been answered. We have Mr. R.C. Kesarwan calling us from Allahabad. Mr. Kesarwan, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query, sir. Mr. R.C. Kesarwan, I think we have lost our contact with Mr. Kesarwan. Now, this is a very interesting problem which our first caller, Mr. Vaish, was mentioning, that if you don't have a credit card history or a credit history, no banks are willing to give you a credit card.
Listen, if that was a criteria, then the credit card base would have remained 1 million, as it was several years ago. You wouldn't give it to another guy who never had a credit card. So, I would tell this guy, एक आपसे दोस्ती नहीं करना चाहता है तो दूसरे से कर लो. Like Mr. Rumta said, there are several banks. Don't fight with them. बोलो भाई, thank you very much. Now go to another bank, get a credit card, build up your credit history, and be happy ever after. So a credit card is a good friend. You use the money, you return the money.
Yeah, I think we have Sheena, who is online with us from Mumbai. Sheena, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query, ma'am.
I have a card, which is an ABN AMRO card. I was given an offer, says you could use 3 days, 3 nights, etc. in so-and-so wherever place. I said, okay, I will take the offer as and when I use it. Immediately the following month, I got a bill saying you have stayed so-and-so place and you were charged 4,500 rupees extra in my bill. Now, certainly I had not taken the offer, so I would definitely not pay up the bill. After which I followed up. Whenever there was a kind of alert for payment, I said, I have not used this, however, you've charged me. But promptly they kept sending me the bills with 4,500, and since I had not paid, they charged me for the various charges, service charge, late fees, financial charges, whatever. After that, I stopped using the card, and I went up to the query. Whenever I received an alert or a call, I said, I simply refuse to pay, and please disconnect my card. Till date, from September onwards, I have been receiving the bills with that late payment, and it has mounted, that figure is mounted to 10,000 rupees. What am I to do now?
Yes, very
wait, Professor Khanna, we'll come to you, but I would ask Mr. Harsh Rungta to address this issue because it's a very typical problem. You are given the value-added services you don't want, then you are charged for it. Mr. Harsh Rungta, tell us, what can Sheena do in this case?
One thing that Sheena must not do is to take this lightly. This so-called 10,000 rupee default is going to stand in her way when she goes to take a home loan, when she goes to take a car loan, and very soon when she goes to buy insurance, probably when she wants to rent a flat. Your credit history is extremely important. Please guard it zealously. Please don't take it lightly. What to do about this? First, stop talking to people on the phone. Talking to people on the phone, unless you're getting a reference number for your complaint, is completely useless. As human beings, we like to talk to other human beings, but because there is no record of that, as a grievance redressal, I don't think it's a great thing to do. Firstly, file a complaint on the bank's website if you have not already done so. And if that does not give you satisfactory reply within the next 3 weeks, then immediately file a complaint with the banking ombudsman. Both these things you can do online. Filing a complaint with the bank on its website you can do online. Filing a complaint with the ombudsman, you go to RBI's site and there is a section on ombudsman which will give you the address and the email address of the ombudsman of your area. You can file a complaint electronically. I can assure you lots of people, lots of Apna Paisa's consumers have benefited. Banking ombudsman is an excellent machinery that RBI has created to address exactly these kind of issues.
Professor Khanna, you had a point of view on this very quickly.
I was just going to say that if for going to the banking ombudsman, you have to give a written notice. I would also suggest that whatever address you have, make a written notice, send it to the bank by registered post, keep the proof in hand, and if nothing is done within a month, then file the ombudsman complaint. And in the letter you write, if you are not going to do this, reverse these charges. And mind you, if she doesn't do anything, you know what will happen? Like Mr. Rungta was saying, they will put her name on the CIBIL list, and next time she goes, for any bank-related transaction, they'll say, sorry, you have a bad credit history.
Right. We have Manish with us online from Mumbai again. Manish, if you could hear us, it's a charged conversation that is going on here. Please go ahead with your query.
Hi, this is Manish from Bombay. I have had a credit card in the past from a reputed bank, and due to some disputes with the bank, as in some extra charges and all the stuff, I went ahead and I closed the card. I settled the card. However, after a couple of months, I got a call from Delhi, and they said that we are calling from RBI, and you have had a balance of some 5,000 rupees. I said, no, I had settled the card earlier. They still insisted that in case if you pay this, in future you will not have any problem about credit rating and all this stuff. So I went ahead and I made a payment. However, I did not get a receipt for the same. They said that you'll receive a full closure letter. After a couple of days, when I called back on that number, I realized that it was the bank and it was not the RBI. So, these banks have been resorting to all these unlawful means, posing themselves as the RBI or making false promises to customers. And the customer is in nowhere to bargain because banks have all the powers and every authority issued by the government and the law. If a customer has a problem, he will not be heard to. So how can one tackle with these issues?
Clearly a case of fraud, Professor Khanna.
No, you see, it's not fraud. Banks are using collection agencies who are resorting to extra legal methods like this one. So the best thing is, when you get a call, you say, yes, I'd like to give you the money, but please come and meet me.
Let me interrupt here. RBI will never make a call for a credit card payment.
It's not the business of RBI. The bank collection agency is trying to use, sometimes they work under the guise of lawyers, sometimes they say we are speaking from the police station, sometimes they will say something else. So whenever you get a call, you say, very good, please come and see me. And supposing you have to give money, then you say, I will give check and I will take a receipt from you. And if your mobile phone has a camera, then please take a picture of the guy who comes to see you. Keep evidence in hand. Because tomorrow what will happen is you will say, this happened. Oh, they'll say it never happened. None of our people did it. So you have to have evidence. Registered letter, photograph. Sometimes, you are talking on the cell phone and you record the call. Because they'll tomorrow deny, we didn't do this.
Right. Mr. Khanna, we head into a break now on that note. But a quick reminder, if you have any query related to credit card dues, all you need to do is to pick up your phone and call us. The lines are open now. The number is 02240987300. We also have an SMS number which is 59995, or you can email us at oncall@utvi.com. Welcome back. We have Vimal Manyar here calling us from Mumbai. Vimal, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, my query is every month when I get my credit card statement, there's a mention on it that my outstanding and payment pattern is being updated with CIBIL. So my query is, when is this outstanding updated? Immediately after the bill is generated or after the payment due date?
Mr. Harsh Rungta, please take that question, sir.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but it is done periodically. And I think that's quarterly. But what does it matter? I mean, if it is done at the, what really counts is what amount was due. So even if it is done at the time, suppose this end of the month coincides with his bill being generated, it does not matter. That amount is still not due. So I don't think he should worry about the cutoff point. What he should rightly worry about is that he pays all the bills on time. I don't think there is anything else that he should worry about.
Right. We have Dinesh online with us from Bangalore. Dinesh, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, my query is, I have a Visa card issued by HSBC. I incurred expenses on this card and got a statement from the bank wherein my due date was mentioned as the 7th of June. I made the payment at the bank, the branch of the bank in Bangalore, because the amount to be paid was large on the 7th of June, and this was stamped by the teller at the bank. However, in the subsequent statement, was charged late payment fee by the bank. Upon my inquiring, I was told by the bank that 7th of June, which is my payment due date, is the date by which my check should have been credited. I thought in the case of all of the cards, it is the date on which the check is deposited, either in the drop box of the bank or you deposit in the bank itself. So I want to know what is this payment due date as far as the regulations are concerned. Thank you.
See, as far as I can recall, the pay-by date is the date you pay the amount. Once you have tendered the negotiable instrument and it has been received, it's a different matter if the check comes back. That's a different matter. But I don't think the bank is justified, and I would advise you to give a written letter to the bank saying that you either reverse these charges and inform me immediately, or I am going to the banking ombudsman against you. Simple as that. And get a receipt, or if you are sending it to another city, get a registered thing. Also email it, and in your video credit card you are getting a statement of terms and conditions. Read them very carefully. Pay by date is well explained there. And even if it is not explained there, you insist that the pay by, because there is always a grace period of a day or two to collect the money. So they cannot, levy to you late payment fees if you have tendered the thing on time, particularly to the HSBC, which is actually the bank which is offering you the service.
Right. We have Rishi Malhotra, who is our next caller, online with us from Kolkata. Rishi, please go ahead with your question, sir.
Yeah, hi. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Rishi, we could hear you. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, Rishi. Yeah, this is Rishi Malhotra. Actually, what had happened is I had a State Bank of India credit card. Hello. Yeah.
Right, Rishi. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Now I had there were some disputes in the card, and somebody from the State Bank of India, the credit card division, had come to me and settled the total amount that was to be paid, that we had both settled on, and had paid the entire amount as we had decided on, and they had given me a letter mentioning that the account has the account stands closed. Now, even after that, I have been getting calls and legal letters from saying that the account has not been closed again. So, what do you suggest me to do?
Right, Mr. Harsh Rungta, this is again a recurring problem. Why don't you address that question, sir?
In this particular case, Mr. Malhotra, I think, is in excellent position. He has a written communication from the bank saying that the account has been settled, and if he still continues to have people call him up saying that amounts are due on this card, I think sending an official complaint against the bank, first to the bank's own management, would be very, very effective. If it doesn't work, I mean, there really isn't a complaint that goes to the banking ombudsman in this case, because he is not really seeking any relief. I think here he should complain to the RBI itself. RBI also has a consumer grievance cell, details of which are given on the RBI's website, and it keeps a very sharp eye on collection practices. I think even a threat in that letter that you're going to complain to the RBI's grievance cell should work wonders, because in this particular case, he clearly has a letter from the bank saying that the account has been closed. So I don't think he will have any problems, but you need to create those records to ensure that it does not recur in the future.
Right, create records is the word. Our next caller is Subhash, who is calling us from Mumbai. Subhash, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask you one thing. The banks often levy charges which are not approved by us, by a credit card holder. The charges, if the customer raises an objection, they sometimes waive it, sometimes they don't. This basically amounts to illegal debit in the account. They are putting it on our bill. Why shouldn't there be very severe action against these people, including criminal proceeding by the controlling authorities like Reserve Bank, to deter them from doing such things in future?
Right, Mr. Subhash, let Mr. Khanna handle that question.
The RBI has actually given a guideline that every credit card company has to give the list of charges they are going to levy in what conditions. And normally most credit card companies send these printed most important terms and conditions of the credit card, a printed leaflet along with some of the bills once or twice a year. So please take out that from your record, read it. If it is written there, they can charge you. If it is not written there, they can't charge you. And if they have charged you something they have not written, you complain to the Reserve Bank of India, write to the Governor Reserve Bank of India with a copy to the Chief General Manager of the Customer Services Division saying that this credit card bank is charging me something illegal and action should be taken against the bank.
Right to RBI. We head into a break now on that note, but a quick reminder, if you have any query related to credit card dues, all you need to do is pick up your phone, call us. The lines are open now. The number is 02240987300. We also have an SMS number 59995. You can also email us at oncall@utvi.com. Mr. Rungta, before we went into a break, we had several callers calling us and you had been advising them to write to Reserve Bank of India with their credit card related queries or to the banking ombudsman. Is there a time gap or is there a time limit within which RBI or the banking ombudsman actually acts?
I think as far as the banking ombudsman is concerned, immediately, so that this is experience, I don't think there is a regulatory time prescribed by which they have to give a decision. I'm not very sure, but I don't think there is a fixed time. But
Mr. Rungta, let me interrupt you here. We have Dr. Shekhar online with us from Cochin, and Dr. Shekhar, if you could hear us, please go ahead with your query, sir.
Hello. Hello. Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Shekhar. Yes, Dr. Shekhar.
It is a general question. For applying for the foreign universities in US exams like the GRE, why is that they are insisting on applying through this credit card for paying the fees and other things? Why is it like that?
This is a matter of convenience for them. That because credit cards are a legitimate means of making foreign remittances and all the banks can handle it easily, it is convenient for them to accept money and receive money through credit cards. Otherwise, then what you have to do is you will have to go to a foreign exchange branch, get a dollar draft made, then that draft will be posted to that party, then that party will give it to its bank. So sometimes it may take 1 to 2 months to get the money. So they are insisting because they want the money now. Otherwise, you know, you may have to give money well in advance. Maybe 2 months before you are supposed to be sitting for the exam and your roll number is coming. So I don't think it is a difficult thing. But you can also go, if you don't have a credit card, you can also go to the bank and ask for a remittance to be made, an electronic transfer to be made. So I don't think it is such an issue that you should bother much about, except that if you don't have a credit card, you go to the bank and ask them to make a transfer from their internal mechanism.
Right. On that note, we have to say goodbye. That's all we have time for now. Call UTVI will be back again same time tomorrow with Stay Hungry, where we will be answering all your career-related queries. Stay tuned, keep learning, keep watching UTVI.